at your fingertips. All you need is a little bit of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do it. And it's not even knowledge. Sometimes it's not even knowledge, it's just information, right? Sometimes you just need the information, right, Chris?
The right information. Get the right
Right.
information and operate on that.
Changes your life. Am I right, Saeed?
Hmm.
The
That's what
right
matters, man. The
information.
right stuff. Yeah.
Changes your life. People are like, knowledge is power. Information, baby. Information.
Yeah.
But we got Saeed with us today. What's up, Saeed?
Nothing much, man. Just having a good day. Pretty excited to just hop on here and just talk, man. I love ads. I love everything about them. So pretty
Yeah,
excited.
we got Saeed with us today. Saeed's doing a deep dive on ad creatives, right? Go ahead and tell him, Saeed, what your little project you've been working on for the past, I don't know, a couple weeks at least has been. It's been
Yeah,
awesome.
no, so oh yeah, I'm so excited to launch this stuff. But yeah, no, pretty simple stuff. No, not simple stuff, but like just taking over the entire ad campaigns for aid media. And when you're working for aid media, we're working for like the product's so good that it's exciting to be making out and banging out these ad creatives. So it just goes all the way from, a fundamental understanding of the brand to making the creatives, and not just stopping at the creatives, because there's a lot of agencies out there that just specialize in creatives. But I want to take like a full funnel approach or like a full marketing approach, where we're not just doing the creatives, we're doing the funnels, we're doing the automations, we're doing the AI aspect of it. So it's pretty interesting. So it's a really like a big project. It's very ambitious, but it's exciting to work on because the product we have here is pretty awesome.
Dude, Saeed's been doing a deep dive. So he took this product that we have, right? Like I call our product basically, and he put it in a whole funnel circle, like as seeing it as a whole, right? So not just getting people to click on the ad, but getting people to click on the ad, what the funnel looks like, how those connect, right? And then what the back end looks like on that. He did a bunch of front end stuff, so he really asked us who our target market was, what our custom avatar looks like, right? All the front end things that he collected to really try and make this, build a portfolio that he can show somebody like, look what I did for this company. But it's been really cool to watch him bring that up. So bring that out of us
Oh
even.
yeah,
He's brought a
and
lot
the
of
amazing market research that he's done.
yeah.
Looking
So
at what else is out there is very valuable. And for me and Brian, it's been difficult because we're working on so many other things, trying to get our customers, set the appointments, follow ups. Hunting
fulfill,
down more people,
Yeah.
pitching,
type out
pitching,
prompts.
pitching,
Yeah.
pitching, and
Yeah.
and trying to get people out of the fear of something that's so new.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I always say, man, I feel like, dude, market research is so boring. It sucks. It's always the one thing
Boring.
that then let me tell you, like I've tried building my own services all the time, and I always skim out on it. Like I always just act as if I've done it when I've really not. But it's so important though. Like it's so important, especially now that I'm in the ads space. It's even more important because you can easily save yourself so much money and so much ad spend by simply just figuring out what works. Just take a few hours and really just see which ads have been performing well, because if you don't, then you're going to be running things that are proven to not work, and that's just a waste of money and nobody wants to do that.
Yeah, it
So
is.
that's
Lost in
why
the
I
mix.
always emphasize, like, man, let's really bang out a bunch of market research, in the foundations, so we don't worry about it later, and so we can get to the exciting things like actually making the creatives and making the funnels.
Well, yeah, we're definitely excited to get these out there and launched and watch them perform,
Yeah.
because it's the time is now. These companies are coming. There's more and more being created every day, and you know, right now it seems like the race to get the best product, the most efficient product, and you know, kind of break away from the crowd, because I think a lot of AIs out there we've discussed in the past are using one of like two or three models for their language processing. So I
That's all
think
there is.
we've done a lot of our homework for the technical side on finding what operates the most efficiently with CRMs and all the connections. So I think that's where we definitely got our advantage from what I can see.
Saeed, when
Mm.
you say you do market research and stuff, I'm really curious. Talk about that a little bit more.
Market research. So there's
Yeah.
a lot of aspects to it, right? First, what I always do is I just take a broad overview, right? I find a bunch of competitors, maybe just look at their websites, look at their offers, see what's working, see what's not working. From like a more, I guess, once again, broad perspective, I'm just going through their brands as a whole, not specifically their ads. Maybe, take a little look at their ads, a little look at their funnels, just get like somewhat of a decent understanding, because at the end of the day, like if I'm working for you, you know the space better than me, so I have to kind of catch up to speed. And I'm working with like different people too, right? So one of them, for example, one of the people I'm working with, he owns a retirement firm. And so it's like I'm working with people who have different markets, and so I have to have a good understanding if I'm actually trying to make you perform, right? Because I need to know your brand as well as you do. So I always start off with a broad overview. Then I start, I guess, funneling down. After that, I look into ad creatives. So the number one thing I always do when it comes to researching ad creatives is I go into the ad library, and I try to find people that have been running certain ads for the longest time, because when you're running an ad for 100 days, for example, right, that's like a cutthroat indicator, like, okay, it's performing
Yeah.
well. Yeah. So that's one of the first things I always do. Get a bunch on the paper, and then just break them down. What funnels are combining with which types of creatives, which creative types are the most popular, which format. So like, is it a before versus a before after creative? Is it a us versus them creative? Is it a founder creative? Is it a story? Like, there's so many types of things, and so you can always just look through and identify patterns and identify different types of things when it comes to creatives. And one thing that I found a little helpful, little tip,
Ooh,
and it
tips.
saved me
Ooh,
so it
tips.
saved me so much time, man. There's this program. It's called Foreplay.
That just
And
sounds funny.
it's
Chris's
I
favorite
know
program, by the
it,
way.
dude. It's so, dude. I bought it and it saved me so much time. Saved me
Yeah.
so much time. Yeah.
Tell us. Sorry, tell us about it for a sec.
There's kids
So
watching. I'm just kidding.
yeah, I'm gonna keep it. Dude, there's so many times I've searched it up and I've just not gotten what I wanted. But it just helps. It's like a database where like it's so much, because dude, the ad library, like the meta ad library, it sucks.
Yeah, it's
It's
messy,
hard to
huh?
look.
Hard to
It's so
search.
messy.
Yeah,
Hard to search, buggy.
it's
And then
limited
you have
data. Buggy's the right word too. Yeah.
then you have Foreplay, man. It just does everything for you. It's
It
so much
knows
easier
what
to
you
use.
want, baby.
It knows what you want, man. So much easier to use. But yeah, just a helpful tip there if anybody wants to, I guess, get easier market research and not want to throw their desktop across the room. Foreplay is the way to go.
Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. And what's like the one, maybe two top things that you have been surprised about? Like, whoa, this is happening and it shouldn't be,
Dude,
or I didn't know
um,
this was happening. Just like one or two.
funny thing. So I used to be a designer for the longest time, right? And so, and I did it for so many years that now that I look at advertisements and stuff, it's like, dude, the ugly stuff works, man. Like the simpler it is, it works.
The
Because
ugly
in my
stuff
head,
works.
dude, it works. Like, it hurts me a little bit on the inside, because I'm like, man, I'm making something that looks kind of like, it just doesn't look good. But if it performs, I have to accept that it works.
I kind of want to
And
show the one that he made that we're gonna run here real soon, because it's
dude,
so
yeah.
blah.
So,
It's
Like it
almost like
really
our
is just
first one
blah.
that was kind
Yeah.
of weird with this
Yeah.
robot lady and like
Anyways.
these weird
yeah.
solar panels behind us.
Yeah.
So that was one of the biggest perspective shifts for me. Like, I'm going from like designing things because they look so cool and awesome, and now I'm like, man, I gotta accept that if it works, let's not go too hard on the aesthetics here, and let's just focus on the numbers, which is hard to do at times, but I'm trying to shift into that state of mind, I guess.
Dude, that's what people have been seeing. I think, and this is kind of like a 15-year situation, maybe a 10-year situation, where when all the tools came out to make things look pretty, right? People made them look as pretty as possible, and that's what grabbed attention. But now people don't care about pretty; they care about practicality,
Hmm.
right? And so it's just like, okay, if practicality grabs the attention, it doesn't matter what it looks like, basically. It's just being practical about what's being grabbed, So,
Yeah, because a lot of
Yeah,
the
I think.
times you over design and you lose the message. But sorry for cutting you off, Chris. Go
oh
on.
yeah,
Oh no, worries.
well said.
But yeah, I was gonna say like I've noticed, a shift in the last couple years where raw actually, unedited raw just get the information out there is performing a lot better these days. You know, even like, a lot of these videos I see, everybody's just got their camera and holding it, and like people with their little microphones holding them in their hands. That is so annoying, but it works. Like these people are getting tons of likes and followers, but that is like the most irritating thing. Like, it has a clip.
Should I go tiny
It'll
mic?
it'll hold on to you.
Oh,
Tiny mic.
There we go.
Hey, hey, everybody, listen to me.
dude. Yeah.
I've noticed that is a thing, and I'm like, it drives me crazy. But, who am I to say when they've got 15,000 views?
Yeah, no, if it works,
Yeah,
it works,
yeah.
man. Like, you just gotta accept it sometimes. Kind of hurts.
Saeed, is there anything like you said you've noticed boring is better, basically, right? Simple,
Yeah.
simple, boring is better. Does that is that true in all the fields? I know you haven't been doing a deep dive in kind of all the fields, but do you
Mhm.
find that would be true in kind of across the board for most things, or
Yes, I would say so, right? If you can exclude just plain and simple art, then yes. Because the thing is, I've done, and let me give you a little background, I guess, check, right? I
Yeah.
started off as like a thumbnail designer for YouTubers, right? I worked with YouTubers that had like millions of subscribers. And so I was always heavily focused on aesthetics, and it can work. It can work. But a lot of the times what I learned is you just got to keep it, like, you got to keep it simple, and you got to keep the messaging clear, because and I say this in general, like when it comes to I guess being an entrepreneur, you got to like really be clear with your messaging. The second you confuse a prospect, they never buy. And so you got to always just get out of that headspace where you're trying to make things look cool, because it satisfies this like monkey portion of your brain, because it looks cool, it's awesome. But you got to like always prioritize clarity over everything.
it.
Everything else is just a secondary thing. First, get your message across, get your thing across, and then worry about making it look cool.
And then worry
because the
about
messaging,
making it look cool?
messaging can get easily lost in the design and stuff.
Yeah,
So I have found it true.
Presentations.
Yeah.
true everywhere, except for when you sell Ferraris. Then you can put
Yeah.
whatever you want and make it make it pretty and gorgeous.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
Ferrari,
yeah.
big engine, fast car. But
Yeah, it seems
Mhm.
like our presentations not that pretty, but people buy.
yeah, that's true. Our presentation's not that pretty.
Because
Um,
I don't know, how do you present something that's kind of invisible?
True.
Yep.
You know
So,
what I mean?
oh, go ahead, Chris.
So go ahead.
No, I was gonna change direction, man. Unless you had another thought on that. Is that something that's invisible?
good.
That's what I was thinking. Said, who's the coolest person? Can you disclose who the coolest person you built a thumbnail for?
Coolest person. Let's think.
Biggest
I
influencer
was,
or coolest person?
dude, one of them was like, I don't know, he made videos on like anime, and he had like 2 million
Ooh.
subs, or like maybe 1.5. I don't know where he is at now. But his name was like Anime Uproar. He gets like a lot of views, and I was like, cool, and you know what's funny? I cold emailed him because I didn't know. I was just like, man, I make thumbnails. If you ever want one, just let me know. And he actually replied. And that's another cool thing. Like, you could just really be out there, and just emailing people that you don't think you have a chance of working with, but you never know. Like, you never know. I was like, man, this guy has over 1 million. He's never gonna get back to me, but he did.
Dang.
I got to
Dude.
work with him a few times.
I just looked him up. You made his YouTube. You're making his YouTube stuff.
Not that was like a few years ago, but
Oh, a few years ago. I'm
but
trying to look.
I made like 5 to 6 thumbnails for him. That's
Final
kinda
War
it.
begins. Rip God Knights. This is him, huh? It's him.
This,
sitting
I'm
front
sure
and
it's
winking.
him. Yeah.
That's
So
funny.
he was pretty huge, and then there was a lot of people knew me in that niche. Like, I don't know what it was. Like, because I worked with him, and then a lot of his friends who were other anime YouTubers were like, man, we want stuff too. And so I kind of just got well known within that one little niche, and I got to work with a few others who had like 200K, 300K, which is pretty cool. I kind of niched down, and I just worked with a bunch of these anime people, and it was fun. The reason I quit, I guess, was because when it comes to thumbnails, it's not a lot of money to be made, and I wanted to switch this. Like, even dude, these guys making millions, man, they they don't pay you that much. And so I'm like, man, I'm gonna switch out of it. It was fun. It made me a good amount of money. I was like 12, dude. It's like,
I was 12. Oh my
dude.
gosh, that's crazy.
So it was any money is good money. So I was like, man, I'm getting $20. That's for I'll take
Hold on a
it.
second. Hold on a second. You're like 12 years old. You email this guy with a million and a half subs.
Yeah.
Literally just emailed him, "Hey bro, I'll make your thumbnails." Like that's what
Dude,
you wrote.
and I was good at them too. That's the thing. So I had some.
Dang.
And the thing is, maybe I was like 13. But the first guy I worked with, I remember, I was 12. And then I think I was maybe 13ish, 14, maybe even 14 by the time I got to this guy. But back then, like I was pretty young. I did thumbnail design like for a few years, and in the middle, I did video editing too. So I video edited for a few other guys.
Okay.
And so the first guy I landed, I was like maybe 12, 13 for video editing. And dude, the guy paid me like $30 for a video that took me like 6 hours to make. I was like, I'll take it. That's a good deal for me.
Yeah.
At least back then. But now that I think about it, I'm like, man, I got robbed, but
It should have been 30
Hold on,
times
bro.
6.
dude, yeah.
Real quick,
Yeah,
is
this guy-
this you right here 5 years ago, 4.1? Are you every
Dude.
backstory? Is that you?
Dude, mine were way better. Mine were way
Okay,
better.
all right. I'm like scrolling forever here trying to find you.
Dude, this guy
Like
has
this
so
guy?
many videos. Dude, no, you know what? I could probably show you some if I'm on the. Let me see.
Dude, this is crazy. I'm
Because
gonna
dude, I did a lot of thumbnail design. Like, let me
12-year-old
see if I have
makes
my.
thumbnails.
I could give you a link probably
Yeah,
if I
I'll
saw
stop.
it.
For a sec. That's crazy.
No, I was into all these random things, and
Oh my
man.
gosh. Thumbnail
and that
master.
kind of got me started with, like, I feel like everything I did, every little thing I did, kind of led me to here, and so that's pretty awesome. I'll show you.
How does one pay a 12-year-old? Like, how do you get the money?
Dude, I feel like these people just do not care, man. like,
I mean, did you have a PayPal account or like what? How
I
did you
did.
collect it?
I did have.
12 years
a
old,
PayPal.
you set up a PayPal account and he just
Dude,
what?
I lied about my
Yeah,
age.
there
I
you
wanted
go.
to make some money.
That's
I
how
wanted to
everybody
make
does it.
some money. Yeah.
Dude,
Let
he's
me-
a hustler at 12, man. Kids from
Yeah, let
Jersey,
me-
huh?
Saw it and they're gonna suck all that money out of your account right now.
Oh,
Dude,
dude,
that's
PayPal was.
awesome.
Dude, the second they got to my taxes thing, I was like, man, I can't do this. I'm like 12.
He's like, I'm 12. I don't pay taxes.
Yeah. Let me send this over to you. Look, is there a chat in here? Wait, let me see. Is there a chat? Ah, there is. Like, this is kind of like a portfolio that I had set up back then for the work I did. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool
Oh,
stuff.
shoot. Where's our chat? I always look at our chat. I miss our chat. Chris always sees it.
Bottom right, there's a little chat, and then up top, it'll say.
I didn't see
live
share
chat.
leave. What am I missing? Share leave script. X that. There's the chat.
I don't know if you've checked out any of these lives before, Said, but
I think I've seen them on YouTube because yesterday I was trying to do the ad and I was looking to see the lead, talking to a lead thing, and I did come across one of them. Watched a few minutes.
Hold
I
up,
think they've kind
Agent
of
B.
improved since.
Yeah, that was
one.
just kind of the thing I went by, man.
Look at you
And so
go.
there's just a bunch of thumbnails down there, and dude, it's good stuff. It's cool stuff.
How do I see your thumbnails on here? Check this out.
Is my
Do I click on thumbnails right here? There you go. Oh,
yeah,
you did all these.
dude.
Look, 1042.
Dude,
only.
I was
only
on it,
Oda.
man.
Dude, look at this guy. You're making these at 12 years old.
Yeah, I always
No
loved. I still love design.
disrespect.
Dude, yeah,
That's
and
wild. What'd you make these on? What program?
Photoshop. So same.
Okay, yeah,
That's what I'm saying, like and that brings me back to the ad creatives thing, man. I did all of this stuff, so now making, like, let's say a static ad creative, like, I don't run into problems with that from the design perspective. It's not hard.
Yeah, yeah.
Design stuff, because I already had a really good base understanding of
Do
how
you
it all
feel-
kind of works.
Do you feel that like these thumbnails right here, like
These
something
are
crazy
headers?
like this?
But
here, let's go.
yeah, these are headers, but
So do you feel like
dude.
this thumbnail right here, right? Overrated. Do you
Yeah.
literally feel like, he would have got, I'm totally making this up, 200, he would have got 250,000 views, but because you made the thumbnail, you got him 1 million more views?
Of course, because when it comes to YouTube, dude,
Yeah.
thumbnails are probably the most important part, I'd say.
That's wild.
Like I got, and I know in total last time I checked, I maybe had like 40 million views across all my thumbnails.
Dang, big player.
Yeah. Dude, yeah. So no, when it comes to YouTube, man, the thumbnail matters. So, and then I was into clothing a little bit, just a little bit. But I realized I couldn't do that because of copyright and stuff.
Did you draw that? Or you
No,
just
but I
okay?
was also into art, so I did draw too.
I got you.
but
That's
yeah,
wild.
dude, yeah.
Are you still
Um,
big into anime?
oh no, man, it's been a few
You're
years. It's been a
not.
few years. I think that was like 2019, 2021 too. You know,
That's
now
pretty cool, dude.
I'm pretty happy.
40 million from 40 million off of your thumbnails.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's
Good for
impressive.
you, dude. And now he's building. Hold on. Okay. Because you saw. Hold on. All right. Because you saw. I'm gonna do. You guys aren't gonna believe this right here. We're gonna talk about this. So right here, you make a thumbnail, right?
Mhm.
Like something like this, as opposed to something like I don't know this. He tried to warn
Yeah.
us, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So you make a thumbnail. This one has 206. You make a thumbnail right here. He blows up to a
Mhm.
million 206, right? Something
Yeah.
like that. All right.
Yeah.
Now, when you talk about ad creatives, all the market research you've done to be a practical and getting your point across. Here, I'm pulling it up, dude. I'm doing it.
Hell yeah. Let's
Hold on.
see
Let me
it.
pull it up before I share my screen here. But like, watch this. Okay, let me change my screen share. When you talk about making those awesome thumbnails for a million views, watch this. Watch this. And now we got this.
Now we got this, man.
Here, I'll side by side up for you. There you go.
Like
He goes from
it's
here to here.
and it's the designer
You know?
in me is always like, man, it's like the itch to make it look cool is
I
just
love
there,
it,
but
dude.
I gotta ignore it.
I love it, dude. It's the simplicity of it, and it's just like, the ad, right, is what it is, right? And the thumbnail, somebody wants to sit down for 10 minutes and learn, right? And so
Yeah,
you got to be a little bit. Does that run through your head at all, a little bit?
it does. I mean,
We're
yeah,
gonna be entertained.
dude, yeah. I just gotta suppress my urges. I feel like when it comes to this
Yeah.
design stuff. Same thing with video editing. Like you'll see some people with VSLs, right? And they're gonna be
Yeah.
snappy, so retention based, and it works for certain niches and industries. But for some, it doesn't. Like I'm one of the guys I'm working with. Once again, the retirement guy. I'm not gonna make him a snappy, highly edited VSL. Man, the people watching are like 70, 80. I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
gonna do.
Yeah.
So you always gotta make sure you know who you're making the stuff
You know what you're
for.
talking for.
Um,
Dude,
yeah,
that's
so
awesome. Do
I
you
don't know.
find that knowing who you're making it for is maybe the most important,
It is
the most
100%.
important part?
That's why, like, I was working with you guys, right? And you guys saw
Yeah.
I really split up into avatars. I want to make sure that I know exactly who these ads are for. And so that's why I always make like one general avatar, right? That kind of encompasses main traits across all of them. And then I really, really go into it. I go into it deeper, like, oh, this person acts a certain way, and then this other avatar acts another certain way. And so when you split it up more, you get like you kind of like fits into the puzzle. You get like a nice idea of exactly who's going to be seeing these. And when you know who's going to be seeing the ads, then you can really target. You can really
Dude, that's
hurt
awesome.
people with your copy. You can hurt people with your VSL if you know who you're talking to.
See, that's it, dude. That's exactly right. Know who you're talking to and appeal to the emotion or the practicality in the person. Mostly the emotion. Some people practicality, right?
Yeah,
So gotta know what kind of conversation you're having.
Tap on those
As
fears.
quick, yeah, as quick as
yeah,
you can figure it out. Know what kind of conversation you're having, right? Look at this. I
exactly.
gotta show you guys. My screen's all weird because I have a microphone right here, but it disappeared. Said was like, "There's a shadow." I know it's kind of
Yeah.
That's wild. And then Said, when you find people, you make all these you make an ad, right? And people come in, so they'll be like, yeah, make me an ad. Okay, cool. I'm gonna get you, 20 leads, right? You'll have like
Mm,
nothing's guaranteed, but we're gonna make this ad, and there's gonna be you're gonna get 20 leads like in 3 days, okay, or less, or whatever it is. But you're gonna get about 20
yeah.
leads in 3 days. What are you gonna do with those leads? How are you going to work those leads? Are you going to call all those leads? Are you literally going to stop what you're doing, like, plumbing, wiring up your electrical panel, whatever it is, and call these leads as soon as they come in? Because everybody knows speed to lead is important. What do you find
Speed
on
to
that
lead
front?
is
What do you tell
so
people about
important, and
that?
that's where aid media just comes in and just sweeps the floor, man. The AI chatbots here, man. And like yesterday, I was making the creative for you guys, and I was just genuinely shocked because it's on the YouTube, right? It's I saw it and I watched through it and I was like, man, this is so smooth. I don't even know if that guy knew he was talking to an AI because it was so smooth.
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
objection was handled like right there perfectly, and it was great, right? And so when you're making creatives, you can't just leave it at the funnel and leave it at the creative. You need like a setter, and a setter that works 24/7, man. Like, you know what's better?
27/7, baby.
Oh, 27/7. Yes,
Yep.
that's what I meant. What's better than that, man? Like, it's great, the AI that we have set up here.
Dude, it's awesome.
yeah.
And
Yeah, and then not only that, but having the proper script, really paying attention to how you program this agent. Because if you do it really good the first time, it's going to impress a lot of people. My number one thing I find, and I've heard a lot of companies, big companies using it, big hotels, big insurance companies, whoever's doing their prompting is lazy, and and it doesn't say money correctly. It doesn't say, they put slashes in. You can't put, there's certain things you can't do because AI is reading it just like, characters. So, if you put right money in a certain way, it's going to say $100,000. Like, what is that English?
would you like $22.20?
Yeah,
You got to type
exactly.
it a certain
So,
way to make it say $20, right?
and those are the people I'm like, I want to call them, find out who's doing this, and be like, hey, we see you got your systems. How about this? How about we clean up those prompts so it doesn't sound like a computer?
Exactly.
It doesn't trip up and reveal itself like that. Because as soon as
Exactly.
it does something like that, then it's revealed this is AI. It's not a person. And okay, got
Bada
me.
Yeah,
bing, bada
Fooled me.
boom. Fooled
dude.
me.
Yeah,
That's also the best part about in our demos is all these people. Well, I don't know about this and I don't know about that, and then it's just like, you know what? Call this number.
calls, call
It's true.
Sasha.
It's
Call
true.
this number, and we don't say, just talk to it. That's all we say. We don't guide them. We don't coerce them into saying anything, having a certain type of conversation. And then the looks on their faces once they start talking to it, the eyes opening. Wow, oh, whoa, like it's priceless. It's
It's
priceless
priceless. It's priceless.
to see those looks on their face and like the light bulb and their brains explode. Like, okay, now I
This
get it.
thing can actually do some work.
Yeah, no, because people are just so used to those awful chat. Like, I was talking about it with my dad yesterday, and he's like, "Man, I was talking to the bank, and he was just like, dude, this bot made me so mad." And I get it. It's so frustrating. Like you're trying to talk to someone, and you're telling it to its face, "Can I talk to someone?" Like, and it just keeps rambling on and on. And what makes it worse is it sucks. It's not a good bot. Like you're talking to someone who, first of all, sounds like a robot. And second of all, it acts like a robot. So like it's so aggravating. Like there's been times, and I said this to you the first time I talked to Sasha. It's like the first time I wasn't trying to throw my phone against the kind of the wall. It was
Yeah.
so enlightening, man. Like it was
Awesome.
relieving because man, I'm tired of those awful chat bots and making you want to just hand it all.
Dude, the other
It
thing
sucks.
too is like when you're talking to a human and they just can't transfer you, right? This is one thing that I love about the AI bot. Like when you're talking to a human and they just can't transfer you, they're on break. There's just literally nobody to transfer to. They tell you, I can't transfer you to anybody. Like, but I can help you if you try and conversate with me a little bit. The bot will do that, right? We can set it up to where it does that. So if you call our bot and you say, "Hey, transfer me," it actually does transfer to Chris. But we do have another setup where it's like, "Hey, do you transfer me to somebody else? Maybe you figured out it's AI. Transfer me to somebody else. I know you're not a human. I need to talk to a human." And it'll come back and say, "Look, I know I'm not a human. I don't have anybody else to transfer to right now. I can set you an appointment and somebody can call you back or something along those lines." But it'll tell you like I'm not able to do that, but I am able to talk you through a few things if you give me a chance, right? Like just like a human would. So instead
Yeah.
of just repeating itself.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome, man.
Pretty cool stuff. Saeed, thanks for coming in. It was great to see you. Saeed does a lot of stuff, like I said, for us behind the scenes, and showing off a little bit of his work there. 40 million plus views. What a champ!
Oh,
Collected
of
off
course.
thumbnails. What a superstar. But yeah, Saeed's great. Chris, you want to throw him anything? Find us on Aid
Yeah,
Media
man, we
now
got
everywhere.
find us on Aid Media now on Instagram, Facebook. Where can they find you, Syed?
They can. Well, my socials are a little like I'm on X. I do build on public on there. It's just I think it's Syed PSD.
But I've
So
never
if you don't
found you
find
on
me, I
that.
find you.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, it's interesting.
Hold on, I've never found you on X. Hold on.
He's
I'm
like,
Go
looking
ahead.
he's
you
like,
up.
you don't
Dude,
find
I'm
me,
I
I
gotta go
come
to
and
the phone.
find you.
Oh no, go ahead. I found you guys on LinkedIn before I hopped on that first call with you guys.
That's awesome. You
pretty
found?
awesome.
Did you find me or Aid Media? I'm curious.
I found all three of you guys, man.
That's
I
what's
hunt
up. You're
people
that
down.
good, dude.
Oh yeah.
What's your Twitter? Your
My Twitter is let me show you real quick. I even have go Syed at Syed PSD. You'll find it. I even posted one of the screenshots from our group chat.
There it is. I
You
see
saying you were hyped, man. Go down there a little bit.
Dude, I am hyped. Loading. There we go. What's closed a former Wall Street trader? Yeah, you did.
Oh yeah, you know how it is, man.
I see something that saves me time, I buy it. Like a boss. Oh my gosh. That's
Like
millionaire attitude right there.
Dude, so on X, man, if at one point I was trying to like get client
Oh
acquisition.
yeah, right
through
there.
X. Yeah,
If
you
your
found it,
clients aren't hyped, you're doing it wrong. That's me, dude. I literally typed that.
dude.
Sounds
Yeah,
awesome.
so
You got me hyped, dude. I seriously. I remember saying that.
so yeah, no, I just build on public. I like to just share my thoughts, man. Let my just let it out. And sometimes I find a lot of really useful people on there to just network and connect with. So it's pretty
Syed's
awesome.
the man, dude. Well, check out Syed, SYEDPSD on Twitter. That's how you find him. And then hit us up at Aid Media Now anywhere.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah.
bomb
We
diggity.
got to start a Twitter, an Aid Media
Oh.
Twitter.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Dude, you guys have to, man. It's a good space to be on.
I guess X is still going strong, huh? Twitter.
It
X
is. If you're on there,
cranking.
like if you're not on there, it seems like it's not. But if you are, like, it's a good space to be in.
That's cool. I've never
Yeah.
really got into the Twitter. I just see the people make the screenshots, and I don't even know if
Yeah.
they're actually posting on it. I think they can.
Oh,
do
I've
that,
seen those
but-
too. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
I've always
Uh,
been on Twitter for a long time. I
boss.
that's where I found most of my clients when I was starting off as like a freelancer.
Dude, love it. Saeed, he found clients on. So there you go. And then you
Yeah, no,
emailed that sub guy, something anime.
Yeah,
Anime uproar.
Yeah,
But-
and like I'll just hammering the cold emails and DMs.
I love it,
So
dude. He's a
What
hustler.
color is your Lamborghini now? I'm just kidding.
Dude, I'm renting one out. One day I'm gonna post like so many pictures.
Are you
my
really?
One day rental. No, I'm joking.
Oh,
don't
I
have
was
that
like, hit it. That Miami lifestyle.
much. Rent that Lambo out for a day and just all act like one of those kids.
Yep. Oh, that's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
that'll be
Saeed-
awesome.
Unfortunately, I can smell the fakes.
Oh, you can easily
Yep.
smell the fakes. They got those. Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
All their pictures are in like one part of town, right? Like they're
Yeah.
nothing's by their house. It's always by a palm tree
Yeah.
or palm tree
All
water.
those chains and the rings, man. Like you can tell.
Take one in front of your garage, bro.
Oh yeah.
But definitely, Saeed, thanks for joining us today. Awesome.
All
If
right,
you
that
guys
was
want to
great
learn more
having
about,
you.
if you
Thanks
guys
for
want to have
coming
great
on and
ads
sharing
run,
your info.
hit
Had a
us
good
up.
time, man.
Saeed's behind the scenes. But all
Of
right,
course.
thank you. We'll hit you
All
guys
right, yeah,
tomorrow
time to get to
as
work.
well, 1 o'clock Eastern. See you guys.
Awesome.
Later.